Hello, everybody. It is I, Walker the Fat Man, as always. I was hoping I wouldn't be back in Verdun, whatever the fuck you want to call it, till I had the computer back, but that is a topic for another video. Today, I would actually like to talk about Russia and Ukraine and what the hell's going on over there. It was actually suggested by somebody else that I talk about Russian tits when I brought up Russia, and then he linked me to r/boobs on Reddit, and I got distracted for the better part of 30 minutes because, boobs. So the protests started because people in the western part of the country wanted the government to have closer relations with the EU and back away from Russia a bit more. But at the same time, people in the eastern and southern part of Ukraine wanted to get closer to Russia, as there are a lot of ethnic Russians in those parts of the country. There had been a bill kicking around in the government, to take steps towards having a stronger free trade with the EU, and I believe it's been said that it may have been the first steps to even joining the EU. Either way, it would have meant a lot of money for Ukraine, and they are having a financial crisis, so they really would have needed it. But instead, the government took financial aid from Russia and was taking steps to join their customs union, along with Belarus and Kazakhstan. So the protests started. The longer they went, the more both sides stepped up things. Protesters blocked off Independence Square, and the government made protesting illegal, and that's when things started to get really bad. Water cannons were used in below freezing weather against the protesters. It was back and forth, raiding the protesters, and the protesters pushing the police back. But eventually, the government authorized weapons to be used, live fire, AKs, snipers. That's been all over the news. You people have seen it. In the end, the protesters were able to force the president to flee, and he has since turned up in Russia, and an interim government has been set up in Ukraine, with elections soon to come. The interim government has also started the process to impeach the former president, and they've even issued an arrest warrant for him. So this leads us to what's been going on the last few days as I write this and record the video, but the last week as the video comes out. So a bunch of trucks were seen around the Crimea region of Ukraine, and they ended up deploying troops with no insignias or anything on their uniforms to take over a civilian airport in the area. Later, we would learn that these were part of a Russian private military contracting group, a PMC. Also reported were Russian helicopters moving into the area, as well as a convoy of Russian APCs and later fighter jets and cargo planes. At that point, the Russian government had said nothing. They were silent on the whole thing. But the silence started, and Russia finally said that they had moved 2,000 troops in the area to protect their naval base and keep the area stable. They also blockaded the Ukrainian Coast Guard into their own naval station using 2 warships. And since that happened, Putin has asked his government for permission to move another 6,000 more troops into the area. Now, when I say asked and permission, we all know that that's kind of bullshit, since this guy's basically changed the laws to keep himself in power for the years, and his government does whatever the fuck he says. On top of taking over the civilian airport, they've placed troops outside of Ukrainian military bases and set up checkpoints around the area. The Ukrainian government is saying this is an invasion, and the leaders of the Crimea region are saying that they asked for the help. Even though they are a semi-autonomous region, they are not independent and can't really invite a foreign power in. There's a 20-year-old treaty called the Budapest Memorandum, being kicked around out there by a lot of talking heads on news programs. It was signed by the UK, the United States, and Russia, and it was a trade, protect Ukraine's borders in exchange for the nuclear weapons. So if Ukraine were to actually ask for the help of the UK and the United States, we would be obliged to step in and help. And that would really be a not good situation for everybody involved, really. Cooler heads need to prevail. I find it fitting, though, that I'm actually talking about this with a World War I game playing in the background, because people think that the assassination of the Archduke is what started it, but it wasn't really. It was Austria attacking Serbia that really kicked things off. Um, Austria got Germany to back them in their fight against Serbia, trying to basically annex the land. But Serbia had a treaty with the UK, France, and Russia, and they got them to back them. And next thing you know, World War One. I mean, everybody always thinks it was Germany, but it was Austria that started it. I'm really just hoping this doesn't turn into a shooting conflict, and like I said, the cooler heads prevail, because this could be the start of a third world war, which none of us want. So, thanks again for putting up with me, and take care.